Jets are in control. Man, that looks great.
J-E-T-S, Jets, Jets, Jets! Woo!
Oh my God, it's so beautiful. 78 degrees, Jets football, and we're winning. That's what's going on today. That's why everybody's so psyched. This isn't no happenstance. This is a guarantee, just like Joe Namath said. See that?
There are few things in life you cannot put a price on. Loyalty, tradition, fierce passion. Today is a gigantic family reunion because finally, they're back.
Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning, Mr. Pickle Pants. How are we today? It is January 5th already, 9:03 a.m., 2023. Who thought we would ever live this long, huh? I remember in high school, Mrs. Vandervoort, she used to wear weird things like total plants on her whole plant, like, little, what do you call those little things? Not a corsage, but whatever, something like she wears on her chest. She would wear these like leaves and eggs and all kinds of weird stuff. It was 1999 and we were partying like Prince predicted we would do. And we were talking about the fear associated with switching over to 2000 instead of having one in front of our dates and everything. And remember Y2K? Remember that, everybody? Not Y2K, Y2K. Remember the fear? Woo, Y2K. We had to get our computers Y2K reliant or compliant. That's what it was. And now here we are, 2023. The Jets are still bad and we're live. So there we go. Let's say good morning. And Pickle Pants got us started today. EF is in the house. Top of the morning to you, my friend. That's right. We're going to talk about a few things today. Among them, Revis and Klecko. We'll get into that. We had some good news yesterday, and we'll discuss it. Jerry the Jet is in the house. Good morning. There he is. Phil Adams. Bean time it is. Indeedles. Welcome, Phil. Good to see you, buddy. Sergeant Cavo. Spending my morning checking the bean. There it is. Not a bad way to start, I think. Let's go Bean. Jermaine Johnson, 2 sacks on Sunday. Wouldn't that be nice? Now, there's a growing desire, let's call it, a chorus of people that hope the Jets play their, at least more of their twos, their threes. Let's see some guys. You're not going to win the game. Robert Saleh all but put that to bed yesterday. Good morning, Stephen. Stream Beaner himself. Mr. Steven J. Merweed's in the house. Good morning. Robert Saleh told us that he is going to pull no punches trying to go for this win. Now, we know that the Miami Dolphins are in quarterback purgatory. You think we're bad. They just signed Mike Glennon, okay? Now, years ago, Mike Glennon, there was on Jetnation, one of the greatest, if not the greatest, Jets message board out there, Jetnation.com. There are posters that have been talking about Mike Glennon on there for a decade. We should sign Mike Glennon. Every time it's up, Mike Glennon. Now, Mike Glennon's career never really panned out. He hasn't been terrible, but he hasn't been good enough to be designated a starter by any team consistently, and he's been a journeyman, right? But he was retired, or at least a free agent, not by his own choice, maybe say it like that. It was a forced free agency, they call that. So Mike Glennon was out there. The Miami Dolphins signed him because Tua, the concussion thing. I mean, look, I feel bad for Tua. I really do. Honestly, he's a talented young quarterback. He's been embattled, right? Benched. Flores benched him, brought him back in, and he was benched late. It's like even by McDaniel, maybe even a little bench in action. But it's he looked like he was actually going to be in the MVP conversation. And now with these concussions, there is legitimate talk going on that he might not have a career. That's sad, dude. That's sad. You think about somebody, think about if you worked your whole life, right? toward one thing from when you were 7 years old, one thing, and you actually are very good at it. And then you make it to the pinnacle and you're good at it there. And it gets pulled out from under you, no choice of your own. You want to keep going and they won't let you. You know, that kind of a thing. Now, 20 years ago, he would have been playing already. You know that. And we'd be dealing with, not dealing with, we'd be learning about his brain damage and everything else later in life. So, look, it's a sad thing. Maybe he can come back. If he does, he's on a short leash, I bet. Sad thing. So then Teddy Bridgewater gets his neck broken by a stiff arm. I mean, not broken, but something happened. Did you see that? He tried to make that tackle. It was like, boom. It's the weirdest thing with stiff arms. Like, honestly, I've wondered this for 25 years, man. How is it that if you touch someone's face in any other capacity, like if you grab push a wide receiver in the illegal hands to the face it's all, but a running back, boom, he could literally break your neck. And believe me, I've seen stiff arms where they grab. Now they haven't pulled, but I've seen it. And they just mush you, and they put, and dude, it's fine. Stiff arm, baby. Now I'm not saying that should go away, but I'm curious. Seems a little bit of a double-edged sword. Anaconda's in the house. That's right. Let's click. Oh, I like that. Well done. So Robert Saleh is saying basically, we're going to try to win, man. Now, the Dolphins need this game. The Dolphins win and they're in, dude. Like, that's where they are. We win and we're out. I always love a good win and you're out game. You know what I mean? So the truth is that we can play somewhat of a spoiler. And a lot of coaches, a lot of teams like that role. They would prefer not to be in that role, but once they are, they take it by the horns. Now, a lot of Jets fans, we're used to something. And it's funny, I tell you all the time, I get a lot of comments, man. I'm out here, right? I get Instagram comments, I get Facebook comments, I get YouTube comments, I get direct messages, I get emails. The emails are the best because you guys whenever somebody sends me an email, you take your time, right, Phil? Phil sends me good emails. He never, not once is Phil complaining. He's talking. But but anybody who does that, and it's hard for me to get to them. It is. It's like I get a lot, dude. So it's like there's 2, 3, 4, 5 paragraphs. I'm like, okay, here we go. I got to buckle up, get myself a sandwich, and sit down and go to work. But it's I get a lot. So there's a lot of people out there, and Jets fans, we're disappointed, right? We are. There's no way to slice it. No matter how you feel about Joe Douglas, Robert Saleh, Mike LaFleur, Zach Wilson, Mike White, doesn't matter how you feel about any of those guys. The disappointment is in Denver, not bad. The disappointment is it's real. I haven't met any Jets fans yet that are like, nah, I'm totally good with this. Nobody. We blew it, dude. And it sucks that we blew it because it allows the same old Jet bullshit to continue for another full year. And even if we're winning next year, it's going to take all year to believe we're not going to collapse again. Like we start winning games next year and it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be the same thing, man. And it's tough. It wears on you. But a lot of Jets fans are hoping that the Jets don't try to win this game. Now, we're used to that too. We're used to that. We, yeah. Well, they're different. We'll talk about that. What's up, Dolan? That's, what's your name on there? Jet Engine. There it is. He's on Jetnation, Mr. Dolan. I don't know if you're still there. You're an outspoken individual. You know how it is, Jetnation, man. But look, but there he is, villain. That's it. That's right, exactly who I'm thinking of. See, I told you. Well, so just real quick, segue, as I like to do, a little off ramp. Brian is on Jetnation. I've known Brian for years, right, Brian? Now, not known. I've had Brian on the game streams when I was just doing it for Jetnation. I've had Brian on, but I was talking about. There's a few guys, but that's the guy. When I was talking about Mike Glennon. That's exactly how I was thinking of. That's a guy's name on there on Jetnation who is Mike Glennon USA. That's what he is, right? That's so funny. Daniel's here. That's what I believe. It's going to be a whole thing. So look, it's natural for us to want to go right to draft pick status. Now it's interesting because it's muddy. It's real muddy. There's a lot of potentials that can happen. A lot of potentialities. So if we win, here's a little bit. Not all of it. Here's a little bit. If we win, the Miami Dolphins have a possibility of being out. They can still be in if Pittsburgh and New England loses, right? I think this is all it is. But if we beat them is the only way that Miami Dolphins aren't in. If they win, they're in. I think that's how it goes. If they win, they're in. If we win and the Patriots win, the Patriots are in. If we win, the Patriots lose, the Steelers are in. You see what I'm saying? Now, I hate all three of those fucking teams between us. I hate them. Sick of the Steelers. I liked the fact that they were finally going to get a little taste of the lose, but they didn't. They found a way. I'm sick of it, dude. People talking about Tomlin getting fired this year. It's so funny. Frankie lives in Pittsburgh. He's like, there's no way. Like, you got to understand something. Pittsburgh doesn't act like that. Trying to dump the erratic behavior of another team, another air on the. They're like, get out of here. We know he's a good coach. Every good coach can have a downturn. Talent, people get hurt, all kinds of shit. He lost his Hall of Fame quarterback, all kinds of stuff. He's a good coach, and we got to let him figure it out. And that's what it was. And look at him. He's figuring it out, right? You got to let that happen. You got to let it happen, in my opinion. Like, we like to chop people's heads off the first sign of adversity. Now, here we are again. We're looking for draft pick because, again, depending on no matter who gets in or out, the Jets, it looks like the Jets could get, a lot has to happen, but as high as 10th. Fucking sick of top 10 picks. That we can get as high as 10th and as low as 17th. There was somebody who said 19th. I saw something that said that's not true. Again, numbers, dude, and all this is where it gets real wacky. I have to depend on others for this kind of shit. I could do it level 1, maybe level 2. Once it goes deeper, I'm like, I need help. I need a canary in the mine, dude. I don't know. Somebody's got to warn me what's happening in here. So, but now hey, there he is. Look at this guy, John Ryan. What's up? What are you doing up? Are you going to work? He's probably at work already. What season is it? Wait, are you off? You're off. There you go. Ryan's fucking, yeah, look at that. Sorry, Ryan is, look at everybody. Morning, Ryan. There's he. So, Green Sand. That's right. You're doing the family thing. Good for you, Ryan. I'll tell you, man. I miss those days. You know what's funny though? I just woke up. My daughter, I do homeschool. My daughter is, we have to do every month we do like a culture thing, right? So we're doing Canada this month. So we're learning about Canada. So she's in there watching Canada stuff. And we're going to make something called Canadian bannock bread. You know what that is? Anybody know what bannock bread is? Neither do I. We're going to find out. Just GreenBean talk 24/7 this morning. Yeah. That's all it is in the morning, man. Brian, what he wants to come out with me in the morning? What's up? Canara Power. Hey, here he is. Get my Bob. What's up, buddy? And that's it, doesn't it? See, now I take that as being nice, right? Get more Bob. Let's be nice and ruin everybody else's friggin' season. Let's do it. Let's take a whole bunch with us, baby. Now, but the thing is the draft pick thing. Now, that's the only thing. And then you got the idea of being able to play and learn starters. I got a comment just a few minutes ago, actually, under one of the videos. Somebody said the next season starts the moment you're eliminated. And we should be looking at and thinking about that season. And we should be looking at, guys, if there are people that we haven't gotten to play, we want to see them, maybe a Jamie Sherwood, maybe a Tony Adams. You know what I mean? What do we got in these guys, man? You let Pinnock go for Tony Adams. Pinnock would have been starting for us. All right? There's no doubt. So you let him go for Tony Adams. You're going to tell me Tony Adams can't start? Because that's bullshit if he can't. You know what I mean? So that's a concerning aspect of this. It's like, all right, well, or do we not have the confidence in these guys? Ashton Davis should be out there signing, or starting. Do we need to go a free safety in the draft? No, I think we do, but maybe Ashton Davis goes out there and he plays a full game for the first time this year and he comes away with 3 picks. Like maybe he's that guy. Every time he comes in, he sniffs out the ball. He seems to be that guy. Right? I mean, they put him in there for 3 plays. They put him in for 1 play in Cleveland, and he got a pick. He read the play beautifully, and he got the pick. He ended the game. think it was Cleveland. So, it's like, there's that argument. But you got to remember this, and this is what I'm going to tell everybody. At the bottom floor, you have a coaching staff and a general manager that are ending their second year. It's a disappointing year because it started with such there's so much progress this year, but it's all swallowed by the late season collapse. The fact that we've had numerous opportunities to grab the bull by the horn and we didn't, not once. That's bad, and it's hard to overcome. They're trying to win. They're trying to get one more stack because let me tell you something. There are articles out there right now, numerous articles out there bringing up the box score-like numbers without the story. Well, Joe Douglas's record is Bob. Robert Saleh's record is 11-32, whatever. That's what they're doing. So if that's the way it's going to be, you got to get one more on the other side. And I understand that, man. I understand it. So again, I'm on the side of just don't fire anybody. Just let them overcome it. See if they can overcome it. If they can't overcome it in 4 years, then you get rid of them. You give them the chance. They came to a shit show operation, man. So Harry's in here. What's up, Harry? Yeah, I like Harry. Gitmo Bob. Jerry's in here. Stud City. Look at all. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. O'Leary's here too. Look at this. That's it, Matt. Like I hate them all, but what the lesser of the evils has got to be the Steelers. I hate them, but the Patriots, the Dolphins, and it sucks to say I hate the Dolphins the most, but wouldn't it be better if they got in than the Patriots? So that's another thing. People are saying, hey, let's just clean this up and let the Dolphins get in this way. Then we know the Patriots don't. I hear you. I do. Let's welcome Ron P., the newest stream beaner. More and more emoji. I just got the official emojis from the artist, designer. I just got them. You're going to like them. I'm going to be putting them in there. But again, I think you're our 11th member. So it's YouTube. I didn't know this. They only give you so many emoji slots, and then you have to get so many members to get more emoji slots. So I have literally 25, 30 emojis made. So it sucks because I only have 7 slots. I'm like, oh, come on. I wanted to give you guys a whole. So in other words, I have them ready, but I need more members. And it helps the channel, and you get more fun stuff. You get a free super chat and all that. Ron P., welcome, my friend. Welcome. So let's get into this. So, guys, we got some good news, okay? Let's see. GreenBean, you're okay every day in the morning. No, not Mondays. Mondays is my, and I don't know how long this will last going into the off season. I wanted to get it started. Mike, you want to know the truth of it? This was an idea I had for the beginning of the season. It's hard, man. It's hard to realign things in life, and again, my life is new, so I don't know what the hell is going on. I'm spun. I used to go to work. I made a lot of money. I'd go to work. My wife did the kids, and we had that dynamic. And then we went on the road for 2 years, and we came back. Now my wife goes to work, and I have the kids, and I'm picking up kids from this practice, and I'm driving over here, and I'm play dating over here, and then I got park day. I don't know what's going on, dude. All right. So I'm honestly, I'm making dinner. I got to sweep. I got to mop the toilets. I don't know what's happening. I have no problem with it, but I'm lost. So the idea of doing a morning show was on my, I wanted to do it for the beginning of the year, and it's just time, man. So I said, I'm doing it before the end of the year. So I started it last week, and we'll see how long it goes because in the middle of the there's no news, so we can do this, but it's only like a half hour to an hour show, 45 minutes, somewhere in the half hour to an hour, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm Tuesday through Saturday, no Sunday, no Monday. Monday's the podcast. So we'll do that. So guys, look at this. Let me see. Whoops. So we got good news. We got good news yesterday, and that is because it turns out that the very rare experience of having a true Jet, and it sucks because he is a true Jet, but he still fucking went over. He got the one Super Bowl the 1 year with the Patriots. I want to punch him square in the face for that. And it's not his fault because let me tell you something. He was traded to the Bucks, right? We got the 9th overall pick, and could have been a 3rd if they kept him, but it ended up being a 4th because they cut him after 1 year. He was a free agent and he wanted to come back. We should have just signed him. And then it's like we had him recover from his knee injury at the Bucks. We got a 1st and a 4th for him and got him back. We could have did that. He signed with the Patriots for $12 million, not the $16 million he was asking for. He got a Super Bowl and then he comes back for $72 million, right? And he played really well the 1 year, and then he got fat, and then he just said, I'm done. I'm tired of playing. But that being said, he's a Jet. He's front end, back end New York Jet. He's the greatest cornerback I've ever seen play, not for the longest period of time, but boy, oh boy, was he something else. Now, we got this Sauce Gardner guy. Now, Sauce came out of the gate better than Revis, which is exciting. But I'm going to tell you something. We've seen players come out of the gate great before. We've seen it, whether it's wide receiver, whether it's cornerback, whether it's defensive lineman. We've seen it, man. 1 year does not a career make. So let's see how Sauce goes. I'm one who believes in jinx. I'm not calling Sauce the Revis. I'm not doing that. I'm happy. He's a stud. I'm great. Leave it. Don't start putting shit on top of him because I don't know. I've seen it fall before. You stack too many chairs on the table, they're going to fall. Too many plates, they're going to tip. You see what I mean? Don't stack any more plates on top of Sauce's head. But that said, Revis, on the other hand, 2009 being the peak of it all. He's amazing, dude. He's an amazing cornerback. It sucks that with the holdouts. I mean, he held out on us for 3 separate times, which is like crazy, man. You know what I mean? It's just crazy. And he held out for his rookie contract, and then before his rookie contract was over, he held out again. You know what I mean? But he had that 2009, and his uncle is Sean Gilbert, and Sean Gilbert's a holdout, man. You know, he's a holdout guy, and he was his agent and whatever. So there's lots of taint on Revis, sad to say. But at the end of the day, he's known as a New York Jet. Most people would have to be reminded that he was on the Patriots for that year. They would. They would have to be reminded. And wasn't that the year that I think that was the year that Pete Carroll blew the call with the stupid pass on the 1 yard line, right? And they got the pick. I'm pretty sure that's it. New member, Jerry the Jet. Thank you. We're going to get some emojis in his house, man. We're going to get some new emojis real fast. Thank you, Jerry the Jet. I hope it adds value to your streaming experience. The newest GreenBean, Jerry the Jet. Thank you. Look, Buffalo Jets fan. Hey, Buffalo Jets fan, you should text me your number. I got something to ask you. Go to my email. It's in the description, or go to Instagram or some shit. I don't know. So I got a lot to. Email's the best. If you go to my email, just write me your number. I'll call you later. I wanted to ask you something. So anyway, Revis he made it to the finalists. So what does that mean? So this is his first year of eligibility. Now, not every player makes it their first year of eligibility. You have to be a true great, okay? You have to be among, what was that? You have to be among the elites of the NFL for your chunk. You have to be among the NFL elite. Royalty, as they say. Revis, by many, is considered what we call a first ballot Hall of Famer. And that means their first year of eligibility, they made it through the whole gauntlet and they made it right in because they were so good, it was undeniable. You couldn't justify putting anyone in over them that year. So Revis made it all the way to he's now a finalist. So this is the final group. Now, let me see who the rest of the finalists are. Let me see. Hall of Fame. And then we got some other big news. 2-2. Okay. To the 23. Wait, let me see. Let's see what we got here. All right, here we go. Ooh, some goodies. All right, guys, you ready? I'm going to share the screen with you guys. We'll get as good as Revis is to look at. Look at him. He's like, he's pointing to me. I don't know if you guys know. That's why I saved this picture. I was in the stadium, and I was there, and he's saying, GreenBean. That's what he's doing. I don't know if you guys knew that. So I figured I'd tell you. I'm convinced. All right, so here we go. Here it is. So we got here's the group. Okay, here's the group. All right. So we got Jared Allen, very famous defensive end, right? Willie Anderson. So the rest of the finalists. So here's the so this is the group. Now I think 5 of these, right? Oh, let's see. Let me make sure. 15. 3 first-time eligible players. Right. Let me see how many of those guys get voted in. Hold on. Now I've been finalist 4. So Woodson has been Darren Woodson 4 times, huh? So he's not a first ballot. You see what I'm saying? Let me see how many guys it is. So look at this, guys. Look at this. See this? Now we're also going to find out about this. We'll get to that in a second. Anyway, let me see something here. All right, hold on a second. There's no set number of enshrinees. 4 to 8. Okay, so all right. It's anywhere from 4 to 8. So this is a big class. There's 15. So there's probably do 8. Okay. So you got Jared Allen, Willie Anderson, Rondé Barber. Remember these guys? It's like so weird that they're Hall of Famers. These are the players I watch. Devin Hester. He's okay wide receiver, unbelievable, greatest of all time kick returner. Seriously, man. If you didn't get to watch Devin Hester, dude, it was unbelievable what you'd be like, again, this guy. Every week it seemed. Torrey Holt, Niners, right? Or no, but yeah. Andre Johnson, don't forget. So look at this. There are guys on this list that Revis shut down and made his bitch. So just to be clear here, what's going on? You got Andre Johnson, who Revis called a beast. He called him a beast, but he shut his ass down. All right. He gave him like 5 yards, 10 yards, something along those lines. Whoops. Oh, I didn't mean that. Let me get that back. I didn't do that on purpose, everybody. I wanted to see something here. So, wait, let me see. So just to be, when you look at this stuff, yeah. So when you look at this stuff, there are guys on the finalists for the Hall of Fame that other finalists have shut down. You can't put Andre Johnson in there over Darrelle Revis, can you? He shut him down. So you got Zach Thomas, never supposed to make it in the NFL, ended up willing his way to being one of the all-time greats. If you guys remember when Mike Westhoff, Coach Westhoff, was on our show, he said Zach Thomas was probably the best player ever coached. Remember that? And that's all over his book. Zach Thomas is among the best for him. He did everything you ever wanted him to do. Anyway, DeMarcus Ware, right? We know him. Reggie Wayne. Hey, by the way, Revis shut his ass down too. So it's looking pretty good for Darrelle Revis. Patrick Willis, great linebacker, and Darren Woodson, who they're saying this is his 4th time making it to the finalists. So more than likely, the fact that he keeps making it there, you got to think he's going to make it. So let's pick. I would say Jared Allen, Willie Anderson, Devin Hester. So that's 3. Andre Johnson, Torrey Holt. Let me come back. DeMarcus Ware. Where's Revis? Oh, so Revis. He's not. So the rest. Revis. So that's 6. Then we'll say Darren Woodson. That's 7. Yeah, Torrey Holt. And I think all these guys can. Why can't wait? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think they're all going to make it. How's that sound? They're all so good, man. Rondé Barber would be the one I think is the first out for me. Not saying he wasn't great, but he would be the one that's the first out. Brian Dolan, Jet Engine himself. Thank you for becoming the newest member of the Stream Beaners, man. So you get your little green bean head next to your name every month. The beard's color is going to change for you guys. You got different colors of your beard, so we'll signify how long you've been Stream Beaners. And when we're done with this stream, the first thing I'm going to do is add the emojis that you guys make aloud, and I'll change some stuff, and we'll do it that way. So what is O'Leary saying here? Thank you, Brian. I love Sauce, but we can't put that expectation on him. Better than best. I know. That's what I'm saying, man. So, all right. So Revis is right. And it's bad luck, dude. Matt, how long we been doing this? It's bad luck to do it that way. Stop. Like, we're extremists on both ends, right? That's what we do. We're extremists. He's either the best or he's a complete bust and needs to be tossed in the garbage, right? Like, it's hard to find us. Very few Jets fans live in the middle. Gitmo Bob lives in the middle a little bit, right? Phil lives in the middle, Phil Adams. I'm hanging around in the middle. We got a good little group there, but it's small. A lot of the guys, fuck, this guy's the best. He's the best. He sucks. That's how we are. I didn't used to live in the middle. I'll tell you that. I was extreme as they come, baby. Let me tell you, man. When I was Giant Stadium, I was a loudmouth. Let me just tell you, man. That's why I relate. I can understand it so much because I was that. I never waited after the game for people, though. Never. Unless I was going to get autographs and shit like that. Let's see here. No coach. Well, coaches are different. So let's do this. So now, I don't know if you guys... if you guys saw this, I showed it a while back. Man, let me see here. Nope, that's not it. Is that it? Let me see. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. So I don't know if you guys saw this. Let's see here. So this is Woody and Klecko excitedly talking to Woody Johnson at the Florham Park facility about this type of a moment. Now, we're going to find out this month. Supposedly, we find out in January. But
I'm going to tell you what. I was just telling Joe Douglas that how I would have loved to have been involved in this because, look at the camaraderie you guys have and stuff like that. Like, this is really every practice you have this, possibly have the chance of Daryl and I, Revis, going into the hall at the same time.
That'll be a lovely time.
We're going to turn Canton into New York. The year we were the SAC Exchange, we did a shoot down on Wall Street, and we turned a corner on where the Bull is on Wall Street when you come down there, and the place was packed full of people. And it was really the first time I'd experienced that because, where I come from, there wasn't that many people at football games. You know what I mean? And to see that and and then after that, you really become a household name.
Yeah, a household name.
That is
SAC Exchange and what you did. And, I saw you open up a stock exchange, close the stock exchange, and you were talking to everybody on the floor. You were talking to everybody. And you said, we're done. Take the day off.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you what. I was just.
But it's funny. You see how, like, number one, you see how, like, kind of disinterested Woody seems. You see that? It just, I don't know. Woody seems like he wants to go away. You can read people, right? And but anyway, you see how Woody relates to him and goes, I remember you at the stock exchange. Yeah. But what Klecko says there is really important, and he's correct. He's correct. Exactly, Matt. I'm with you, man. That's what I'm trying to say. We got to remember that shit. We can't put that on our boy Sauce. But now, talking about Revis. Now, Revis is a finalist. It is my position, and I'm biased, that Revis should get in without question. It shouldn't even be up for debate. Again, there are two people on that list of finalists for the Hall of Fame that Revis completely eliminated from the game. What does that tell you? If you got those three men on the same docket, you go, well, I mean, yeah, he's got a great career, but when they faced him, he was better than he shut him down. Let's see. Revis, 2009 season. Let's take a look here. Incredible 2009 season. Okay, here it is. I'll show you this too. Okay. What time is it? Oh, we got time, baby. We got time. All right. So look, again. So you got Andre Johnson, who was the big bad stud he was among the studs of the league at the time, okay? Now, he played everybody. This is crazy. Andre Johnson got 4 receptions for 35 yards, all right? Randy Moss, 4 receptions for 24 yards, did get himself a touch. Rivas got a pick off playing against him. Justin Cage, whatever, 4 receptions for 37 yards. Marquise Colston, another one. He was a stud back then for the Saints. 2 receptions, 33 yards. Ted Ginn, 2 receptions, 57 yards. That's a big one, actually. And he got a touchdown. So Ted Ginn. Terrell Owens, 3 receptions for 13 yards. Now, remember, there's an older Terrell Owens, but, dude, Terrell Owens is literally still talking about coming back to the NFL. So he was older, but by receiver standards, I mean, he was still a stud, dude. But it wasn't prime Terrell Owens. So then we got Lewis Murphy, 4 receptions, 58 yards, and Rivas got a pick. I remember that pick. That was an interesting one. That was actually Jamarcus Russell. Remember the pick? That was the pick where Jamarcus Russell threw it. It looked like a short touchdown, and Rivas reached over the receiver. He jumped over his back and just boop and took it out of his hand. Remember that one? It was a good one. So then you got Devon Bess, 4 receptions, 18 yards. Mike Sims-Walker, 3 receptions for 49 yards. Randy Moss again, 5 receptions, but for 34 yards, and he got himself a touchdown. Steve Smith, the Panthers, 1 for 5. Remember how badass Steve Smith was? And then he played for the Ravens. He was still great. 1 reception, 5 yards. Terrell Owens again, 3 for 31. Antonio Bryant, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 2 for 22. Roddy White, another one, 2 for 16. Then Reggie Wayne, removed in the 3rd quarter. You know why he was removed? 3 for 33. Because he was scared. He was like, I can't do it again. I don't want to play against this guy anymore. And Chad Ochocinco he got none. Remember that? And he was talking all that shit. Remember that? Chad Ochocinco before the last game of the season. By the way, that was the last game ever in Giants Stadium. Chad Ochocinco said, I know Rivas is great. I know he's having a great season, but he hasn't played me yet. He hasn't played anybody like me. Remember that? Now, it turned out Darrell and Chad Ochocinco were very, very good friends. So it was a good-hearted ribbing. And he's a funny guy, too, man. He's very, very funny. He's a shit talker, but he's funny. But he was serious, too. He's saying, dude, I'm going to light this kid up. I'm going to light him up, man. You'll see. And Rivas shut him down entirely. He got nothing. So, again, when you look at this, guys, both this guy right here, I guess I can't highlight. So Andre Johnson right here, he's on the same list of finalists for the Hall of Fame. Rivas held him to 4 receptions for 35 yards. That's what we call a non-factor, okay? Then you got Reggie Wayne. He held 3 receptions for 33 yards, and he had to be removed in the 3rd quarter. I don't know if that's injury. I don't remember why. But either way, he was doing nothing. If he got another reception for another 11 yards, it would have been 4 for 44, right? So there you go. So you got now Rivas he's on the finalists, as we're saying here. So it looks good that Rivas can be on next year's Hall of Fame enshrinee list. There'll be a bust with his head made of brass in that damn building. I was there last year. You guys remember? I'm going to call them soon and try to get in there. I'm going to try to precursor it and try to get in there that week. See if we can't pull that together. But the interesting one, guys, is Klecko. Now, Klecko is not a first ballot Hall of Famer. As a matter of fact, he's been completely and utterly ignored until there were there had to be documentaries made, and there had to be, guys that stood out in front of the world and brought attention. Number one, Howie Long used his Hall of Fame enshrinement speech. He was at the Hall of Fame with the gold jacket on and talked about the best player he ever saw was Joe Klecko, and basically that it was sad that he was overlooked. He did that at the Hall of Fame. So if he doesn't do that to draw attention, what about Gary Myers from the New York Newsday or Daily News? He's been on a Joe Klecko tirade for 2 decades. He's out there, and then the last 5 years ago, I think it was, he got voted into the Hall of Fame Senior Committee. So you have Klecko allies now in the Hall of Fame. That's the only reason. Who's the other guy? I want to say Pete Klein, but I forget, man. It's not Pete Klein. That's a comedian. Shit, I just forget his name. But there are now 2 guys. There are 2 Klecko allies on the committee. That's why Klecko's name started getting brought back into the fray. Without these men, dude, he's a forgotten guy. And I want to tell you something. If Joe Klecko was on the Dallas Cowboys, Pittsburgh Steelers, New York Giants, San Francisco 49ers, any of those teams during his era, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. That's how good this fucking guy was. He was dominant. And again, they say he made Pro Bowl. Dude, he made all pro at 3 positions. Okay, all pro at 3 different positions for different defenses. How many times do we hear it these days? Oh, what they changed the defense, dude. Mangini, when Herm Edwards, he had John Abraham and Jonathan Vilma on his team. They ran a 3-4. Oh, no, they ran a 4-3. Mangini comes in, he's running the 3-4. What's the first thing he did? He got rid of Abraham. Why? Because he's not right for his scheme. And then same thing with Jonathan Vilma. He drafted David Harris. David Harris was a better fit for his scheme. He got rid of Jonathan Vilma. He traded him to the Saints. And what did he do down there? Jonathan Vilma's might make it to the Hall of Fame himself. But that's the thing. Like, you hear it all the time. Like, he's a Mike, he's not a Will. Dude, Joe Klecko said, what, Will, Mike, Sam? Give me it. It's like Mo Lewis. Mo Lewis played and succeeded in 4-3, 3-4. You want me to be a pass rusher? I'll get 10 sacks. You want me to be a coverage linebacker? I'll get 4 picks. Like, that's what he does. Like, we had great players, and they were ignored, dude, because of our team record. It's bullshit. And the fact that Joe Klecko is finally being introduced to the Hall of Fame paradigm is because of these men. Howie Long, I can't believe I can't remember the other guy, man. It's on the tip of my tongue. Maybe somebody can say it. Who's the other guy? There's another guy, he's press, very, very famous press. But Gary Myers is one. And I just can't remember it, dude. I feel terrible. I'm a bad person. I feel terrible. But that's the thing, man. Like, without these men, like Joe Klecko did it on different 3-4 nose tackle. Yeah, 3-4 nose tackle. You know how different that is as a 4-3 defensive end? You know the skill set that takes? There are guys on the team now, like if you don't have them exactly what they're trained to be, they're completely neutralized. They're useless. It's crazy, man. So Klecko, he was the best on the team that was the best at what they did. And he was one of the best of all time. And on top of that, he made it to the final 2 last year. So this is 2 years in a row. Why are they bringing him that close 2 years in a row? Remember, the senior committee isn't the same as it's a totally different thing as the regular Hall of Fame voting group. Like, yes, who was it? I already forget, man. Darren Woodson. He's made it to the finalists 4 years in a row. That being as it may, Joe Klecko making it to the senior committee 2 times in a row leads me to believe that he's getting in this year. And I'll tell you exactly why. Think about it. One person in all of NFL history beat him last year. One guy. He was the finalist. Out of 2 people, one guy beat him. It was the wide receiver for the Raiders. I think it was. I forget his name. Forgive me. But he deserved to get in too. So you're going to tell me that now 2 new guys are better than Klecko? Like, why? These aren't new names or anything like that. It's not like there's new eligibility. That's the thing with the other list, is that every year there's new people becoming eligible. So Darren Waller might be right there, or Darren Woodson might be right there, but then you got 10 new guys that are eligible, and they're all better than you. That's not happening with the senior committee. It is what it is. You see what I mean? It's like they're all there. So Klecko made it to number 2 last year. He's in the top 3 this year. Dude, he's got to get in. And what better year, dude? What better year than the same year as Darrelle Revis? Give it to us. Our team's on the upswing. Kinda. We're going to have offensive and defensive rookie. I don't know about offense. Kenneth Walker's making a case, dude. You know what I mean? But we could. We have a candidate for offensive rookie of the year. If it was, in my opinion, Breece Hall would have absolutely stolen that thing. In my opinion, if he stayed healthy the whole year, the way he was going, bro, he was untouchable. But Garrett Wilson is also an amazing stud, so he might get offensive rookie of the year. Breece Hall, Sauce Gardner, to me, looks like a guy. Yes, you can talk about this guy or that guy. Dude, when you look at it, how challenged he is. Like Sauce Gardner gets his numbers on touchdown passes, on last play of the game. Like that's when he's winning games for us. You know what I mean? So, and that one pick, dude, the guy who just touched the ground when it bounced up in Green Bay. Anyway, I think that Sauce will get defensive rookie. Garrett Wilson could very well get offensive rookie. And if Revis gets in, Klecko gets in, like what better year, dude? Give it to us. And you'll see the turning of the tide, the turning of the corner. That's what I like to see. So, all right, let me back it up here. I saw a few more. So, Brian Dolan, I said, right, thank you, man, for becoming a member. I saw a super chat in here. Brian Dolan again. Thank you, buddy. Klecko is the man. He and Gastineau should be in. Well, listen, Brian, don't tell anybody. But as soon as Klecko gets in, we're going to do the Gastineau thing. We're just keeping it quiet right now. All right. You can't muddy the water for one by bringing in the other. You got to put all your resources into getting them in, and then you can turn and take all those resources and put it into Gastineau. Gastineau's another one, man. He's another one. He was hated by the NFL. They literally banned his sack dance. They banned it. When the Rams started a fight with him, it was known that it was going to happen. Okay, it was premeditated. Everybody knew the Rams they're not going to take kindly to him dancing. They knew it. And when the announcer, if you listen to the clip, the announcer says he'll think twice about doing that again. Like after they attacked him because he did this. That's all he did. Now back then, different era. Now every fucking bud. Now they're taking pics. Now they have coordinated dance move. That's what they do in the end zone. They've spent hours making dance routines. But anyway, that's how Gastineau changed the league. Now he's got some real negatives too, man. Real negatives. But again, don't forget, they stole his sack record. You want to know why? Because they didn't like him. The first guy to get that close was Michael Strahan. Nobody had ever even been there yet in a long time. Up until that point, nobody had even sniffed Gastineau's sack. The only guy who did was Klecko. Nobody had even gotten up there 22 and a half sacks. The first guy to get right there was Strahan, and the game was over, and he wasn't going to get the damn record. So Favre, I'm sure they said, hey, man, just take one play and give him the damn record. He ran out and sat on the ground. That's what happened. You want to see it? Let's see. Here it is. Watch this clip real fast.
And don't forget, we got to get Joe Klecko in the Hall of Fame this year. This is his best chance to get in, and we are going to help him. Mark Gastineau, as we know, got 22 sacks in 1984. 22 sacks. No one has eclipsed that. No one has touched it. And then Michael Strahan comes along, and they were in the final game of the season, and it looked like he just wasn't going to do it. And what happens? Brett Favre, with very little time left in the game, rolls out to the right and just lays down. The tight end barely went to block him. It was as if they talked about in the huddle. Let's just give Strahan the record. He's earned it. It sure as heck looked like they planned it. He rolled out, laid in front of him, and Strahan went nuts, and the NFL acted as if things were all hunky-dory, like nothing was awry. No one cares. Just give away records, especially from a team and a man that don't have much. It's all we got, and you had to take it from us, man. So there it is, right? I've been pissed about this for a long time. Dude, that day, let me tell you something. I was watching that game, as many Jets fans were. I was with a few Jets fans, and we lost our collective minds. I could have taken the TV. They were heavy back then, or I might have. I had a big old fucking flat, big tube TV, big Sony or Zenith, you know what I mean? And I could have thrown it out the window, man. I was so mad. I'm like, it was absolute horse shit. And it should have an asterisk. He didn't earn it, man. He didn't. Now he earned the others. So you can't take anything away from him except the fucking record. Except the record. And that's the thing. When you look at it, you got a guy who's led the NFL in single season sacks since what was that? 1984, 85? So let's say it's 85. I just don't remember. It's in that range. Is it 95, 2005, 15? So you got 36 years, 37 years, right? 37 years. Nobody's beaten it. That guy doesn't belong in the Hall of Fame. That guy doesn't belong in there. Strahan's in there. And he did all that, dude. He only had a 7-year career. It's a whole thing, man. But we'll go there next. I want to thank Stud City for dropping the Peter King bomb. That's the other guy. He went out of his way to create, awareness for Joe Klecko. Thank you, Stud City. First, Peter Ming the Merciless. There he is. What's up, Eric Craig? I see you, buddy. Good morning. Jin Pak, good morning, guys. So Peter King. I also see Daniel Yanez. You said it as well. Thank you, guys. Because that's it. Now it seems so easy to find. I could not find it. What was I saying? Peter Klein. I was close. Remember Klein? He was a comedian. He's the funny guy. He said, I'm 58 years old. And somebody said, he was doing Carnegie Hall. Famous joke. It became famous. He goes, yeah, I'm 58 years old. I'm getting older. And somebody yells from the audience, middle age. And he goes, yeah, how many people do you know that make it to 116? Funny joke, man. Funny joke. Classy guy. So, all right, guys. So that's kind of what we're looking at today. What's up, Matt? Good to see you. This is insane. We'll get to a couple comments and then we'll move into the rest of our day. This is insane being a Jets fan, really. I'm going to watch the Lions fighting for a playoff spot. And Matt, we're not doing that this morning, buddy. Nope, too early. Too early, Matt. I won't even say it. I hear you. You're right, but I'm not doing it. Indy Jets fan. Gastineau is the reason this kid from Indy. You know what, Indiana Jets? This is the offseason I make that video. Indiana Jets, I want to tell you something. His name is Jay. Son. Okay. He sent me he's from Indianapolis or Indiana, right? And he wrote me the full story of why he's a Jets fan. And I said, hey, can I make a video out of that? He said, absolutely. And I just haven't been, I started it. I pieced together all the clips of Gastineau and everything. But I'm going to do it this offseason, buddy. I promise. Okay. It's a great story. And we're going to use it as part of the push to get Mark Gastineau in the NFL Hall of Fame. Okay. Jim Pak agrees. It should have asterisks, dude. It really should, but they won't. And believe me when I tell you, the NFL was all too happy to take it from Gastineau. They didn't want such a tainted player to have it. They didn't want it. They wanted Strahan. He was the model of the NFL, the face of the NFL. And he's on TV. Like, that's the whole thing. They wanted him to have it. That's the thing. And it's bullshit, dude. They stole it from us. And we should be mad.
Because and I am. Let's see. Italian loving the Irish. There he goes. Glad you brought up 99. At that time, he and Lawrence Taylor were known as being the most disruptive deep players. The thing is, Lawrence Taylor was a better all-around player, right? But you're right. I mean, that was what we had in the era of Lawrence Taylor and Carl Banks and Harry Carson and Gary Reasons and Meggett and fucking McConkey and Bavaro and all the guys. Right? All the guys, Phil Simms. The Giants had this, they were out front. And what we had was the sack exchange, and leading the sack exchange was Mark Gastineau. All right, hold on. I'm going to show you the picture of a poster I had. Okay, this is the poster I had. Now, to be fair, maybe now it wouldn't necessarily be thought of in the same way, but looks a little risque is the word I'm looking for. But this is the poster I had. This is it. Remember this? Mark Hand the Barbarian. So this is, look at this guy. Now another thing is that he was known to be on steroids, right? So they always put that moniker on him. Oh, but he's on steroids. Yeah. Who else was on steroids? All right. Everybody was on fucking steroids. All right. It's like Barry Bonds or Mark McGuire or any, like, dude, like, let's be real here. Most of these guys are on steroids. Now, Klecko wasn't. You could tell because his body was breaking down every 5 seconds. You know what I mean? But anyway, that's the poster I had. I had this other one. So this one wasn't a poster I had, but I remember it. Here, I'll show you this one too. This is our boy Gastineau. You look at him though; he's a stud. Like nobody was built, dude. He was 6'5" in an era when look at this guy, when everybody was, you know, like big was 6 foot. You know what I mean? He was big, dude. He was huge. Look at him. Look at that guy. Sexy bastard he is. So anyway, yeah, that's right. Totally. I agree. So yeah, we'll do that, Indy. We'll do it this year. Michael Clemens is a young Gastineau. Yeah, well, let's hope. Let's hope so. David Klein. Yeah, didn't I say Peter Klein? Maybe I said David. Maybe I wasn't that close. Maybe I wasn't as close as I'm trying to make it out to be. Okay. Let's see what else we got. Danny Mastrodonato. We need a guy like Gastineau so bad on these current jobs. Well, the good news is we kind of have some. You know what I mean? We kind of have some. Maybe not Gastineau. Gastineau didn't come out of the gate. It wasn't like he had his ups and downs. So we had a good defensive line. We got a good defensive line, and not for nothing. Quinnen Williams is a badass. He's a badass, man. And he's 25 years old. Like, it's not like we're watching he finally got a good season. Dude, he's still going up, in my opinion. You get him that big fat run stuffer next to him, then animal. Yeah, JFM's nice, Rankins is nice, but you get like a real, like a snarling beast next to him that clogs that entire side. Again, you gotta have a guy that can eat the whole section between the center and the tackle that they're not running here. You can't move him. You can't push him to the side that you want him to. He clogs it. And then you got the linebackers that can backfill and give him some help. But then Quinnen on the other side is going to tear shit up. That's what we need. All Gastineau breaks. I like what you did there, Tiger Thor. Daniel, he was a speed demon. Oh, dude, he was so good, man. He was so good. I'm afraid I want to show you guys clips, but then the NFL dings me and I'm getting in trouble with YouTube. I'd like to show you guys some stuff, but I can't. Richard from Jersey met 99 in Gold's Gym in Cali. He was massive and cut. Really? Yeah, I got to meet Gastineau a couple times actually, but once I got to actually talk to him outside of a Jets game. He was just standing I came down the escalator and he was standing there. He goes, "Hey, how you doing?" I swear to God, I was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" He's like, "I don't know, just blah, 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 blah." He was wearing a suit. He signed my jersey right on the number. I was wearing my Bird jersey. He signed it right on it. So it's got Gastineau's signature on it. But yeah, he had a 3-minute conversation, talk about God and Jesus. So that's all he wanted to talk about that day. He's like, "Well, Jesus loves you." I'm like, "Yeah, man. Well, I love you." How's that sound? I love you, dude. Okay? That's it. Jesus loves us, but I love you. How's that? I said, "You are the dude." I told him all that. Well, thank you, man. Thank you. He was nice. He was nice as pie. Sweet as a Sweet as a Canadian bear claw that I learned about this morning, or beaver tail. Jerry, we need Snacks Harrison type. That's exactly what I'm thinking. Exactly. LT, top of the morning. Sorry, we're at the end here, guys. GreenBean, what's your all-time Jet D-line? Ooh, right. This is how we'll end it, okay? All-time Jet D-line. It's going to look like the sack exchange. What it would be is this. I would put Klecko on the end. I would put Gassino on the other end. I would take Dennis Byrd in the middle, and I'd put him next to Quinnen Williams. That's my all-time Jets defense line. Now, behind them for rotation, I'd have Marty Lyons on the inside. Maybe rookie Sheldon Richardson next to him, right? He was we ruined. I mean, I don't know what we did with that kid. He was so good. We moved him to linebacker, dude. It's just so dumb, dude. So dumb. Move him to the tackle spot behind Byrd, and then who would be the ends? You could say Lagerman. He was good. As far as depth, he'd be real good. But you know what, man? I might take somebody a little bit newer. Maybe you take a Jermaine Johnson. He hasn't proven enough. But Abraham, thank you, Captain K. I knew it. I'm like, there's someone. And then you got Sean Ellis. So you know what? Lagerman's out. You got Sean Ellis and John Abraham rotating with Klecko and Gassino. Dude, could you imagine they each play 50%? Straight up. 50%. Dude, they would never have time to pass. Byrd and Quinnen in the middle. Let me tell you, dude, Byrd, if you haven't gotten a chance to watch Dennis Byrd, just fucking watch him, man. He was so good, dude. He was so young. Like his rookie year, 7 sacks. Like next year, 13 from the inside, man. He was so good. Vernon, right. You got to remember Vernon Golston. Got to have him in there. Abolo 1 says Klecko Gas. Yeah, well, that was the sack exchange, right? I'll tell you what. If that was your all-time line, you wouldn't be doing so bad. That was what we had. Bryce Huff is in right. Good one. All right, guys, listen, have a great day. I hope that you can find a way to enjoy your life without thinking of the Jets all damn day, okay? That all said, guys, I appreciate you being here. Let's end it with a little Klecko action. I've played it recently, but I'll play it again. Let's end it with that. Guys, have a great day, and thanks for being here. Good morning, Jets fans. We'll see you next time.
As a Hall of Fame voting group, we need to re-examine some careers. And I think we need to re-examine the career of Joe Klecko.
Dang, I want to see how I do against this guy. Because he was the best.
Left guard can't handle Klecko. Just knock the crap out of the guy across from you.
Intensity, bottom line. Never take a play off.
He was incredibly strong.
His just pure raw strength.
He was the same every play. Ball zone.
It was an incredible accomplishment to be dominant at one position in the NFL in your career, but to be dominant at 3 positions